What's up, world? This is Max. I'm here today to talk about why this card game will always be number one and why you will never have to spend money on it, yet you can create new games with it. And I will use Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic as an example. For starters, with Yu-Gi-Oh! When the game first came out, you had normal monster cards, effect monster cards, fusion monster cards, trap cards, and magic cards. Simple enough, but as time went on, people were like, hey, this game needs to evolve, it needs to get faster, we need to clear the field, have more excitement, so they're like, hey, let's add in synchro monsters. Oh, you'd think, oh, that's not that bad. What is the difference between an effect monster and a synchro monster now? Well, a synchro monster requires a synchro summon of a tuner and a non-tuner monster together to form the exact stars of that monster. But if you get this monster out on the field, it is extremely strong. For example, this card, which is Beezle of the Diabolical Dragons, he has one Dark Tuner and one or more non-Dark Tuners to make an 8-star monster. That's really not that hard. You get a 4-star tuner and you get a 4-star non-tuner. That's pretty simple. Its effect cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. When you take damage from an attack involving this card or from an opponent's card effect, this card gains attack equal to the damage you took. Its attack is already 3,000 and its defense is already 3,000. If that wasn't bad enough, you can't really destroy it. You have to remove it from the field. Alright, so they went one step up. They added Xyz monsters, where you take two of the same level card to make one of these Xyz monsters. This one takes two level 4 monsters. And its effect isn't as good as the Synchro monster, but this isn't one of the better Xyz monsters. For example, when any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach one Xyz material monster from this card, negate the attack, and when this card is targeted for an attack, well, it has no Xyz material monsters, destroy this card. It has 2,500 attack for a level 4 versus a level 8. Now, to me, that is way overpowering. You're clearing the field way too much. A lot of excitement's going on. The battle could literally change every single turn. Then they started introducing theme decks like insects. You have these Utopia monsters. And it just became a card game where you didn't really have to have any brains to build a deck because they pretty much were like, here, use this deck that we built for you. And I think that with the game evolving the way it has made a lot of cards obsolete. And they have come out with cards that are so powerful, they have to have a limited and banned list. And in my opinion, if you need to ban a card, why did you even create it in the first place? Now, with Magic, it wasn't that bad. I will say the biggest change they made to the game is when they added Planeswalkers, like this Jace card. Jace comes out on the field for 5 mana. It's alright, you can't attack with it, but his abilities are crazy. The only way to destroy it is if you remove it from the field or if you pop it with enough damage. It comes out with 4 health to start out with, but you can add 1 health to it, draw a card, target player puts the top card of his or her library into the graveyard. That's not that powerful of an ability, I agree. But its second ability, you can pay 0 of its HP, and target player puts the top 10 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. Now, if you do this 4 turns in a row, that's 40 cards in a deck. Granted, how long will this card stay out? You can counter your opponent's cards. It actually can stay out for quite a long time. And its -7 ability, which if you use its +1 ability 3 times, you can use its -7 ability, which is any number of target players each draws 20 cards. That is incredible. You can make yourself draw 20 cards, and if you have Jace's Erasure on the field, which every time you draw a card, your opponent mills a card, you just drew 20 cards that you can play with, and your opponent just had to mill 20 cards. Now that is way overpowering in my opinion. It made the game evolve, it made the cards get a lot better. Now they have these dragon decks out and these Eldrazi's that are just way too powerful, and some of the older cards, granted they're not in the 3-set rule for tournament play, they're obsolete. So if you don't play tournament play, your cards are obsolete and you will never win a lot of the time. Now, my Jace is obsolete. It is out of the three set rule, but it is still pretty powerful. Now, some of the really older cards, they are quite broken. They had to literally change ruling on a lot of them. They took out like mana burn and things like that, and I feel like a lot of the newer decks nowadays could really suffer from mana burn. That is why I think that this card game right here will always be my favorite, because no matter how long time goes by, you won't have to spend more money. You can make new games up with it, and it's still relatively fun, especially with all the older different games that you can play. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. That helps me out so much. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.